Crazy. Yep. It's one of the one mommies wants to see. That and Chewbacca. Crazy. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. We're still on our first run. Hey, buddy. Gonna be continuing our brutal run. Headed up in the clock tower to track down some bad guys. Now, in this area, the one you want to be most careful of are the... I don't even remember what their names are, but the cloaked ones that show up. Make sure when you go to every floor that the whatever this thing's called, teleporter, is available. And watch out for, tell you what, the traps in this level are just plain awful. You want to check each area. What I recommend is when you get up to a level, you automatically toss off your bombs, grenades, traps, whatever you got, to trigger or kill the hidden guy. It just makes things a lot better. Good morning! What's up, Ryan? How are you doing? How are you this morning? You've been enjoying Last of Us? Part 2. I played a little bit this morning. Played the guitar and was checking out Seattle. What have you been up to? Alright, headed up, checking her out things. Watch out, that one. The guy with the backpack shooter, he definitely fires off something that makes multiple bombs. A little extra money over there. I can't stand the spikes and traps in this area. Let me see, I already had triggered that teleporter, so we might as well just keep heading up. Avoiding the spikies. Just finished my jog, so better now. Nice. And who else has joined us but Infinity Bro Isaac? How you doing, Isaac? I just recruited you in XCOM this morning. XCOM 2. Making you a specialist, my friend. You're gonna be my mega healer. You'll probably come in better use as progress in the game and things get a little tougher. I'm also a specialist. And I definitely enjoy having a little robot around. Yeah, man. So pumped to have you join the team, Ryan. Now, I also have you in XCOM, but I have either not recruited you yet or not given you a role. Now, you can see a little bit of like distortion at the top. That means there's a cloaked sniper, invisible enemy guy. You either want to get behind them where they can't hit you, or you want to pop off a bunch of stuff. See, now there's one right above. If you go up above, you can usually kill them right away. You don't have to worry about getting hit by them. Now see, that one I came off on the other end, which I really could have come up through here, but I didn't even think about it. Oh yeah, buddy, I got you with your cap. Your cap, and I think I got glasses on you, I don't remember. I still need to show off some of my XCOM 2 characters. What do we got? We got the electric whip. I do enjoy the electric whip, but my daggers are still more powerful now. If I could get bleeding, and my daggers gives me that +1 scroll, I'll save it for now. He puts a door on a platform you can't even access. That's just mean. Alright. There's not really... So, when you're exploring this area, there's not really a set path. Just go through your... I kind of like to start bottom to top and go from there. I was inspired to start up Dead Cells again from your videos. Ooh! Another Dead Cells player in the world. I'd like to hear it. So, you started it up again, meaning you played before, and... Did you struggle, lose interest? A little bit of everything? Also, just a thing, when you hit the teleportation, never do it when you don't have your all your moves handy, because I usually mash my top buttons and immediately fire them off when I get, because you're usually in the midst of a bunch of bad guys, so I recommend that. So yeah, so Isaac, have you beaten the game at all, gotten into any difficulties, or are you still on the OG difficulty, the 0 BC as it's called? I hate those guys. Now, I do not recommend doing what I just did. I got lucky. There's the infantry bow, which is pretty good. I could have landed on spikes, but man, that ball and chain is just, it's the worst. When you're like got a good run going and then you accidentally hit the ball and chain, that's a terrible feeling. Terrible, terrible feeling. Yeah, I haven't beat it yet. How long did it take you to beat it originally? So originally, I would say when I was fresh and I knew nothing whatsoever, it probably took me, I want to say it took me like 3 or 4 runs to do it. I think I did it on the 3rd run, but I unlocked some things and you know, unlocked some weapons and mutations that definitely helped at the time. And I'm trying to remember when I originally learned. One of the things that helped me get through the first couple difficulties was save scumming, which is pretty much where you back out, you quit, you go down to your save slots, and then you copy over a save, so then you have 2 saves. And some people don't know about that in Dead Cells, but it just gets in handy when you want to save time. Then you continue on, and if you die, you copy over the 2nd save to then try again. And it's really nice to practice areas, practice bosses, because when you die in the upper levels, you don't get to face the bosses very much, because then you have to go through all the other biomes again. So I recommend that very much so. But I would say, yeah, it took me 3 or 4 runs to kind of get the idea of what was going on to upgrade. And I definitely didn't master. Once I got to 1 and 2 BC, man, it took a lot of save scumming, a lot of work. But once I got to 3 BC, I really got the feel for it. And now I've beaten every difficulty level. I'm still waiting to get the... true ending to the game. I've beaten 5 BC once, and then it sends you back. By the way, this bell, there are 4 bells on these levels. If you open them in order of, I think it's low sound to high sound, but it could be high sound to low sound. I don't remember, honestly. You'll unlock a shield that is pretty useful if you like shields, called Punishment. I don't use shields, but that's available. It also can be very time consuming, but it's fun. I've made it to the 2nd boss, but the Switch version I have doesn't have a save option. Oh no, really? Unless I'm dumb and can't find it. I mean, if it doesn't have... So the save option is automatic. What you do is, wherever you are in the level, when you quit, it automatically saves what you've done, and then you go to your slots. Do you not have save slots in the Switch? Where you have like this, like the PlayStation version has 7 slots. So you can always save over to the right and to the left. Like this is my current streaming run, and then over here is my original run where I've unlocked everything. I've done about 117 runs. I actually have another version of the game. I think this is the EU version. I have the US version of the game where I've done about 60 runs. So probably done around 170, 180 runs altogether. Many hours of work. Good times. So, but yeah, check it out on your Switch sometime just to double check. I'm really surprised since all the versions, I think, between PC, Xbox, PlayStation are all about the same from what I know. But maybe not. I could be wrong. Oh, look, we have an Elite. So, Elites, I always make sure I have all my weapons at my disposal, so wait for your cooldowns to go down. And then, you know, you can jump behind them if you want. Toss out something, watch out. Yeah, so that didn't start out too great. Ha 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 ha. Oh no. Hi. Yeah, they can be kind of a pain sometimes. Especially when you've got just limited options. So, we have an amulet here that has better damage received. So it's 10% off instead of 5%. But at the same time, it gives me one extra scroll in the Brutality realm, which is the red one, which I'm going for. So I typically don't get rid of that because that ups my damage output. Yeah, so I'm going to recycle this one. Sometimes, depending on where you are in the game. Ooh. Him and his stupid bomb. Now, shake off that rust. What do we got over here? We got this, which is what compared to? That's pretty good. Gives the burning damage. Check, make sure my chat's working. I've actually had better luck with my chat lately, so that's been good. That hasn't busted up. Damage. So I don't have anything that stuns, freezes, or immobilizes. And its base damage is not as good as the twin daggers. So again, not switching that over. So I recommend whenever you get to a level, don't buy anything until the very end. See what items you get throughout the level and how much money you get. Right now, I mean, that only takes 13 of my 29,000 gold, which is pretty good. So I might consider upgrading my dagger to increase my bleeding damage. So now we have to go over and get the key, use our rolling ability to not get hit, and continue on. We'll visit this area later. There's also the electric whip that I still have, but I'm not sure I want to keep that. I'll probably recycle it, but we'll see. Alright, next area. Time to teleport. Oh, that's not a bad one whatsoever. Haha. Alright, I got lucky there not getting hit, because I don't have the wall run. And even though I'm probably never going to use the door, I like to open the door anyways. It's like an OCD thing. Nothing going on here. Continue up the ladder of fun. Hopping, jumping, all those good things. Again, these are the BC doors that you have to up the difficulty to access. I did not figure that out for quite a few runs. I thought there was like a special key I had to get or something. Woo! Oh, he nicked me. It's annoying when that happens. Ooh, be careful when you're near spikes not to slam on the ground, because that hurts real bad. Again, just a friendly reminder, I'll keep reminding you on this first run, when you don't get an option to up the scroll of the color you're focused on, always do the one that gives you the most HP. Don't worry about the weapons you have. You should always, at all times, at least by the second biome, have weapons that are only the color you're going for. But they have really slow reaction times in this difficulty level, which I love. Alright, some more items, but we could upgrade the red one for 31, which would be all of our money, so not a fan there. And the other one gives us a scroll, so never mind. Not a good deal. Always pay attention to your scrolls. Moving on up. Okay, so we see the distortion above the character walking around. What we'll want to do is jump up real fast and toss our grenades. And complete. And get another scroll. Do you generally run Brutality? I tend to run with that usually. So I actually, originally, my first time beating it, maybe first couple difficulties, I actually loved Tactics or the purple. I just like the traps, I like the turrets, I like the archery. I used to be almost strictly a bow and arrow trap guy. And then once I got to the higher difficulties, I realized my HP could not get high enough, so then I expanded out to Brutality and Survival. Overall, for survivability's sake, ironically, I use Survival. In order to beat the game and last as long as humanly possible, I think green is your best way to go. Green is lacking in some melee items, but it has both Tactics and Survival has the item, the Wolf Trap, which I think is the best item in the game for fighting bosses, because you can hold them in place for 6 seconds per trap. But in terms of just pure offense and brutality, like it says, red is a good way to go. I would say in terms of beating it for the very first time, use red or green, but I would say overall just try different ones. Do a variety to see what you can get used to and get accustomed to. So that was kind of a wasted move, but that's okay. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the scroll colors. The most important thing, regardless of what you choose, pick one early and stick to it. Don't switch around. See how I have 20 of the red, 3 of the purple, and 4 of the green? Don't change it based on what weapons you have, or you always have enough weapon variety to vouch for any of the 3 colors. Pick one early on from the moment you start getting scrolls and stick to it, because your main deal that you want to get is your scrolls. You need to get one of your scroll colors to be as high up as possible to maximize your hit output, your damage per second. That's really, really vital. Sure, you can get your HP really high, but if your HP is really high, but your damage that you do is really low, it's not really going to matter. Just throwing blades, just throwing little... Ooh, oh man, Hokutu's bow, I'm a big fan. I recommend that and that's going to work for your purple playthroughs, your tactics, and your brutality. You want to unlock that baby. It's just really good for damage output. And again, you notice that with each platform I got to and each enemy, I led with the knife and then I slashed with my knife. Or I led with the dagger, throw daggers, and then I slashed with the sword. The bleeding damage is going to give extra oomph to your hits because it's going to cause constant damage. I think I have that open. Now, here we come to the point where do we want to upgrade things to a higher level, and what do we want to upgrade? Now, I do have Hokutu's bow that I could unlock, I think. I don't know how many cells do I have. I have 45, so normally to unlock something like a bow is 50, so there is a chance that I will not be able to unlock that, which will be a sad day. But I will be able to put a little bit of work into it. So now, right now you can see the twin daggers do a base of 7299 on the third hit. They'll do critical. Electric whip, it will do 5270, but the thing with the electric whip is, if it wasn't for the scroll, the extra scroll I get on twin daggers, I'd probably switch to electric whip because you can hit faster and you can hit in any direction. You can jump and it holds you in midair. There's all kinds of good stuff that I really like about the electric whip, but it doesn't have that extra scroll. That extra scroll is going to raise the damage of all my items right now, and so I don't really want to let go of that. I want to have as high of a brutality scroll number as possible. Now let's hit the shops real quick. Again, you want to do the shops at the end of each biome just to kind of do an assessment, how much you got going left. Sometimes you'll want to not do this based on items, but you'll want to keep in mind, okay, do I want to upgrade what I have? Right now I have, like the fire grenade, I don't really need to up that. It's a 7 already. The infantry grenade's not that great. It's 6. Knife throwing is 4. I mean, really I want to put money into getting better melee, but it's got that scroll, so it's kind of hard to vouch for doing anything different. And then the Nutcracker, unless I have something that freezes or immobilizes them, it's too slow to really do a lot of good. I'd rather have the daggers. So, is it worth upgrading this from a 4 to a 7? Well, if I get Hokatako's bow, it's probably not worth it. It does pierce the first target. Well, they both do that. Let's look at the other shop area real quick. I don't usually spend this much time, but I'm trying to think out loud for you guys and really get the best options. So these don't have any good options. The turret I love, but I'm not doing a tactics playthrough. So the reason I'm also being thoughtful about this is I'm right before a boss, and I really want to have the best possible damage output for the boss. And so the only one I'm really stuck on, if I really want to do it, pull the trigger, is the throwing knife. But the throwing knife, what's nice is that if my HP is max, it's 50% more. But I also do burning damage with the other one. And I have fire grenades, which is going to add burning damage. So I am going to do it. I'm going to recycle that because of the burning damage again. So you look at, I have the fire grenade, so anything that causes fire damage or has increased damage because of fire, you want to use. So it's really important. I think I haven't had much success because I've just tried to fly through the levels as fast as possible. Yeah, I can understand that temptation when it's such a kinetic game, but I really don't recommend flying through the levels. Oh, there's one area I missed. I recommend, oh no, that's the exit. I really recommend, Isaac, that you take your time in enemy areas. Like, you can kind of draw away, especially with if you use purple or tactics, you can use your turrets and stuff to kind of hit them and then run away for your life. It's a pretty good move. So moving on, I don't think I opened up the kill streak door because I took too long. Or I didn't take too long. I got hit a couple times, so I missed that one. Alright, so Hokuto, yeah, see, Hokuto's bow is 80. That's gonna take a lot of work. We could do, because it's early on, I might want to do the health flask. As I've said before, these general upgrades, I recommend you put precedence on them the first few runs if you haven't already. Just get those out of the way. The starters give you variety at the beginning, so you don't have just the basic weapons. And golden health are, foundational. Recycling is also important because you run across things. The Spartan sandals are an okay melee. Flint can be powerful, but it's slow. Nerves of Seal I haven't used very much. Infantry is a nice bow to use. Gives you some nice close-up damage, but it doesn't give any extra perks like the daggers I have right now that cause bleeding damage. I much prefer. Hokuto's bow gives it marks enemies and it ups the DPS, the damage per second. It's a really good extra item if you have a powerful melee or even another bow. You can do a lot of damage. It's really nice. So I actually want to up my health flasks, which I recommend, especially for those of you that aren't very good at dodging or shields yet. You need as much life as humanly possible. And then I'm just going to start chipping away at Hokuto's. I'm just going to take it down as far as I can. and maybe even if I don't need my cells for anything else, unlock it next round. Now, I can up. I wouldn't recommend anything below a 5. So this is a plus plus. This is a plus. So if I up this infantry grenade, it's not that great, but it will give me a scroll. This one I can up, but it'll just give me an extra perk. It won't give me an extra scrolls. This one I could do to S, but I'm not going to. Because I have a lack of options and 1 brutality would be good, I'm going to do that. And see, it gave me the bleeding, and now I have burning. So these combos together are going to do lots of damage. I do have more money, so I can up that one more if I want to. And since I just bought it, I'm going to do just that. And so one thing I noticed is the victims freeze nearby when they die. That's a nice deal when you want to do crowd control. Again, I have everything has, well, not everything. The one thing I need to, again, pay attention to, I want bleeding and I want burning perks. So check everything. Bleeding, yes, we got bleeding with that one. That one's good. We do have a poison, 100% of poison. So when you look up at this one, when they do die, that's going to give toxic clouds, which is very good. But if you're taking out groups of enemies fast, I don't know how important that is. You do have plus 20% to critical, but with this one, because the cost of the reroll, the modifiers is so low, I would recommend trying to find either bleeding, or extra burning damage. So let's do it once to see what happens. Burning oil, we don't have that. Do it one more time, and then we're going to run out. So victims burn when they die. If I can go unhit, I will have 50% plus damage, which is nice. So that reroll didn't go exactly my way, but you just have that sometimes. Now again, you can save scum the rerolls, and you can make an extra save with each reroll, go back, do it again, and it'll give you something different every time. So that's one way to kind of experiment with those. That's a nice little deal to do. I do not have enough money to change over things, but I don't really need to do that right now, so we'll just keep going. Move on to the clock room. So now we're going to fight the time keeper, and she is a very deadly character. You want to take her out fast and dodge a lot. Yeah, there's not much I can really say about her. You have to dodge a lot, and the wolf trap is very important for her. But since I'm doing brutality, I don't have that option. So let's see how we do against her. She is very mean. I don't like her, but, you know. That's a lot slower than it is. That's a lot slower than it is in 4 and 5 BC. So. Alright. Oh, that was easy. Yeah, I had my DPS pretty high, so I was able to take her out pretty quickly. I'm not going to open the perfect door, which when I do tactics and survival and have traps available to me, I will show you how to do perfect runs against those guys. Now here's the wolf trap. Again, if I was doing survival or tactics, yes to that, but no today. Frost Blast is pretty good. It'll throw ice in front of you and hit pretty much everything in front of you. Again, if I were doing purple or green, I would recommend it. We got the light speed, which is a decent skill, but I don't use it very much. Alright, off to High Peak Castle. Yep, nothing there. Now we can try to modify this again, see what I can get, and I'm back to the drawing board now. Yeah, still, there's a critical hit up. I would not recommend re-rolling as much as I have. I just really want burning or bleeding damage. It's just driving me nuts that I'm not getting it. I'm very likely going to end up keeping. At this point, once you get to High Peak, you don't want to re-roll stuff and waste money on things that you're not sure you're going to keep. I probably should have saved my money to get a better melee weapon, but I'm just going to do it anyways. And look at that. The last roll What luck. Not only do I cause extra damage for bleeding, but burning as well. And that's exactly what I wanted. So I'm holding on to that, baby. We're going to increase our... And now, 5% of the time, we will get plus quality items. That works out. Moving on. Light speed. Make sure when you get into this area, even if you don't have any cells and you've dumped it all into this guy here, still open him up so you'll save your blueprint, because you can lose your blueprints when you die. And that's kind of painful because you're not sure if you're going to run across that blueprint again. Alright, we did lose a little life, but thankfully because of our recovery perk, not perk, but it's kind of like Bloodborne or I think Dark Souls too, when you hit a bad guy after they've hurt you, cause damage, it will give you life back. That's a pretty handy thing to have. Alright, moving on to High Peak Castle. Now, once you're in this area, it's all about causing fast damage, because these guys, more than anything, will light you up. Now, it does help that I've upped my... So see here, I'm not missing out on anything. Vorpan's not that great. I mean, it can pack a little punch, but it's not really that fantastic. Alright, so... Now here's the Cursed Chest. Now you might say, for those that have experience, I don't like Cursed Chests because curses are not fun. Because all it takes is one hit to get killed. However, let me recommend to you, and of course, oh, we got a very nice, now this one's even nicer than the one I have. It causes, it looks like the same amount of damage, but it gives me also poisoned damage, just in case I get a poison item. Let's switch it up, and then also get a scroll. Now, you can be a brave soul, and be, get good kind of guy, and you can go through the game, but I am just going to teach you, you know what, we don't always have time for that, so copy your save over. Now you have a backup in case you die on one hit. And then we continue from there. And so now we can run ahead stress-free, we'll still get the practice of, and the experience. Just be ready. You're going to get some resistance, but because my stuff's pretty powerful, I don't even have to use... Now, I don't like these guys, because they will poke you with their little shield. I still can't use that. With their little spear. So always use your camera. Now, there's a little ball and chain too. Avoid that at all costs, because that will kill you dead. So this is where your camera comes in view, and it's a very, very, very... Now, if you cause him to go into his little animation... There we go, we're out of our curse. You cause him to go into his little animation, you will help... that'll give you time to come up beside him and kill him. But you have to just time that on your own and figure out how to do that. That one's just something you gotta figure out. Alright, there's a shield, not interested. Again, shields are very good at all levels, but I just don't really care for them. Now this guy is not cool. He's kind of like that big fist guy in Overwatch. Oh, I can't get down there, I forgot. Dodge. So you want to come down here and get ready. Now if he has your back to you, that's also important to give you that extra hit in to kill him. Alright, we're going to fight the twins. Again, I'm originally a bow guy, so I will dodge first, throw, and then melee later, but you can do whatever you want. This guy is a pain in the butt, but if you have a high enough DPS, it won't matter. And that guy's so low level. At this point, both of them are actually that. your daggers kill in one hit. That's a good sign if your daggers are killing in one hit. Just watch out for the baddies. And watch out for the ball and chain. This one has no brutality, so which has higher HP. They're both the same, but I like the numbers to be even, so we'll do purple. Now, one thing I like to do when I play this on my own in a real fashion. Now, here's a good thing to go for, even though it doesn't have any plus to it, and it'll take away one scroll, but it might be worth considering. I like to explore the whole place before I go into the rooms, but this gives variety. So now I just saw that there's a spinny guy over here. We're gonna try to kill him before he can hurt us. Remember, the doors, always slam through them to stun your targets. Give you that extra hit. And watch out for him. Duck. You can duck his moves, so it's not too bad. I don't like this guy. Alright, took care of that guy easily enough. Now, when you get to high peak and you can take out elites that fast, you know you're headed in the right direction. And you will be more than ready for the hand of the king. Keep your distance from that spear guy. He will surprise you how much he can reach with that spear. The other reason I like to clear out the areas first is you will sometimes wind up, oh, there's a little, and you see the leaves here? That always indicates a place you can slide through. We're going to assassinate that guy and head back over. We've already cleared out part of this, so we might as well. Let's flash him up, see how our sword's doing. So sword's pretty good. You really want your sword to one-hit kill these guys, but if you can't get that, 2 hits is pretty good. I'll take it. Now, I like to complete the map. Ooh, that was close. See how he started his animation? You want to always watch out. They can see you through walls. They can see you through anything. Now, what I like to do is take out everyone in 1 hit. Oh, that was close. Alright, so you can see we're 1 hit away from being able to access the door. We got a watermelon here. Oh, thank you. Oh, your name's hard to read because it's blue. Elub Halu 69, rightmost of the mini-hand platform. Thank you very much. There was a secret. Yes, I am terrible at seeing secrets. I will be honest. Now, what is it? Rightmost part of the mini... Oh, yes. So, down here is a secret area. So, I can't access the item here because I can't make my head flop off because this is my very first run and I haven't unlocked that rune yet. But in a normal game, once you're far enough along, you can pop your head off and make it crawl through that little passage area and grab that item. But unfortunately, I don't have that ability. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna, well, actually, you know what? Just to be a good example, I am not going to use the watermelon just in case I lose some life. Oh, but I'm dead inside, so it doesn't matter. Alright, get rid of it. This one, the only reason I would say maybe to use it, for the level at least, is if you're low on gold, because it gives you gold as well as a cell, and it gives you negative 75 damage from projectiles. I'm going to actually use it for now, and then later I am going to come back to this amulet, because I still want the extra scroll for extra damage. Alright, we haven't gone into the blue area, so we're going to go circle back. Isaac with your little laughy icon face. So cute. Alright. Oh wait, I think I came through here, didn't I? Silly me, I came through here. Alright. Oh, there was one right at the... There it is. There's the secret that my good old buddy Aleb Hall told me. Aleb Hall, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'm pretty sure that's the one you were talking about. Again, I am very forgetful, or I'm very not observant, so I miss those a lot more than I should. I mean, I watch my character, but I don't really need to. Alright, so as you can see, we're actually to the throne room, but there's one more. I never don't do this, so I always go for the third key. If you're in the harder levels, you don't really need to do this, but I like the extra scroll and the extra items to choose from, so I am going to continue on to the areas I have not cleared out yet. Haha. Check my... I'm so glad my chat is working without a hitch now for... And there, that stupid ball and chain almost hit me. I hate its guts. I do not like it. And here we have our last area. Nothing on the floor. Let us proceed on. Yep. Alright, gonna fight the spiky back guy. Dead. Alright, that was fun. That guy had a really slow reaction time, which I am thankful for. Aha, nice try. So, just so you know, you cannot dodge when they hit the ground. You can dodge him when he charges you, but I just panicked and lost my focus. But that's okay. What's nice about once you get your hit streak filled up, you can't lose it. And so I can just continue on my merry way, not worrying about hit streaks anymore. I mean, of course I want to worry about my life, but I'm pretty good with the life. I should be okay. Alright, got a... which bomb is that? Oh, we got guys all around. That is the... Well, how about we clear out the bad guys first? That way we don't have to worry about... Whoops. That was premature. Thankfully we're high enough, we can just rock them out. Alright, pick up. Powerful grenade. That one's pretty good. That one's got a big punch to it. It's got a slightly longer cooldown time, but it can be worth it when you're trying to take out big groups of enemies, or take off a chunk of the... Oh, that guy is not getting hurt too badly by my hits. Duck and hit. Soldier resistance, a very good red mutation. Probably it can give you up to 25% additional HP, so I recommend using that. We need to find teleportation device. Nothing really over here. There's a shop over here we can look at. I don't have very much money, so I could get the knives if I wanted to. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Alright, where do we have left? So there's some areas south. I can't go through the floor there, so I can't explore that. I have my third key. I can't go through the floor there, so really it's the shops and going all the way to the left, get my necklace back, and go fight the Hand of the King, which I'm going to do in just a few moments. Let's go see if there's anything I want in this one. I don't remember. Nope, there's nothing there. Let's go back up. I know I was just here, but, you know, c'est la vie. So, we have this, which is not as good as what I have. It would take more money to up it. And this one, honestly, yeah, it is about 1500 more damage, but I already have the bleeding and burning and the extra scroll, so it's not really worth it to get it. I already have something that does fire damage, so I don't need this. So all my shopping options have been pretty much found to be not that great. Alright, so now we're going to go over here. Cells at this point are not important, so I'm going to switch this back, recycle this, and then I'm going to go out the last door. Oh wait, nope, there's one more area I almost forgot about. I really recommend scouring the countryside so that you can make the most, get the most cells as possible. And so see, I already know I can't get down here. I'm going to do it anyways just to show you, but I can't climb up those walls, so that just gave me a couple extra cells. And I can't use that yet, which I don't remember not having that option this late in the game, but it's been a while since I've gone through things. Alright, so off we go. We're going to unlock this door, see what lies over here. Anything good? So we have the Nutcracker, which causes really great damage if, again, they're frozen, immobilized, or stunned. But I have nothing that really does that. You do get items later on that will help with that. So that one's not really that great. Its base damage is not that great either. The Fire Grenade, it's not as good as the other one, so that's also pointless. But we got ourselves another scroll, and another reason to have better hits. There's a boomerang down there, but I can't get it until I have the stomping ability and the pop your head off ability, which are abilities you come to later. Alright, so let's get ourselves prepared to fight good old Hand of the King. We're going to have a 1 hour run, which with the amount of talking I've done, and amidst everything else, I have to say that's not too bad for the very, very first run. Okay, lots of cells. Again, just look at it, compare. It's the same exact one, except I have 2 pluses, so it's not worth it. Frozen is purple or green, and that's a green shield, so at least we got a little extra cash. Now our cash is kind of pointless at this point because, well, once we go over here, so we have a few options. We did get the powerful grenade, and we did get soldier resistance. We're not going to be able to unlock that. We can unlock Hokutu's bow. Now Hokutu's bow for the last boss, actually any bow or throwable thing, is going to be only semi-productive against the Hand of the King because he has a front shield that will block all incoming arrows, throwable items. He'll block all of it, so you have to get behind him to shoot it, but we can use Hokutu bow to mark him from behind, which will give plus 2500 DPS, and then that is pretty good if we compare that to our throwing knife, which gives 29 DPS for 3 seconds. It's okay, but it's not as much. It's almost 1,000 less than Hokutu's bow. But is there anything we can't unlock? A flask? We could unlock to have more money, double our money once we start the game over again. But 3,000 in the grand scheme of things isn't really that important. I would say at this point, most important thing is to unlock Hokutu's bow. The powerful grenade is good, but when we look at what we have, they're both 7 pluses and do lots of damage, so it's not really that important. So we're going to unlock Hokutu's bow and see what happens with it. And then we will contribute to, I think, recycling. That one's so little it doesn't really matter. Light speed is okay, but not great. Soldier resistance is good for future playthroughs, but the most immediate is going to be recycling. So what do we get with Hokutu's? Oh, this one has 400. Now, the only downside is going to be we're not going to get bleeding damage. We have nothing else that causes bleeding damage, so I didn't think of that. So, and that gives me 60% plus damage across the board. So I'm actually going to recycle Hokutu's bow and change my mind. Glad we thought that through all the way before using most of our cells. Now I can S-quality this, which would make it have, I can S-quality this, or I can S-quality the infantry. because I'm going to be using... Oof, this is a tough decision, honestly. It requires less to do the S, and so I'm going to do it, and then hope I get burning damage there. Bleeding, yes. Alright, that's what I wanted. And plus 3 damage. And then, okay. Well, that's that. Nothing else we can do, nothing else we need. We're gonna heal up, and we're gonna go fight and complete our first round. Let's see what happens. I have about 16,000 HP. That's pretty good. If you can get close to 20,000 HP, that's better. 30,000, I've done 30,000. I don't know if I've done 30,000 on 0 BC, but usually between 20 and 30,000 is my goal by the time I get to Hand of the King. But yeah, 27, 4, and 4 is pretty good ratio for what I'm using. Let's see what happens. See if I can avoid his ugly face and his spear and all that jazz, and go from there. So at the very beginning, he's always going to attack the same way. You have the little opening animation, and you want to immediately get behind him. I want to cause bleeding damage from the beginning, so I want to throw my 2 bombs, dodge behind him, and throw, and just... So as you can see, I've already taken down a bunch of his life. Now the elite you want to take care of last, but I didn't do that. Oh, I got hit right at the end. Man, if I would have had more patience, I could have gone a no-hit against him. That's too bad. But yeah, so that was a pretty good run. I only got hit for about 1,000. And so you get your blueprint, and then you pick up your first... Oh, yeah, absorb your boss cell, which will then unlock the next difficulty. Chop that up. Stem Cell 1 modifies the difficulty level, unlocks new options. And then we get our Symmetrical Lance, which is pretty good. It's a little slow. Just for having my 3,000 topped off at the end, I'm going to recycle my dagger because I can't take it with me. You can see it's a really big sword, but it swings a little slow. You do that. And then, children, avert your eyes, because I'm not going to be nice to this guy with my sword. Huh? You want to see? Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm gonna... Alright. So we take him out. Finish him off. I've turned off my television so my son cannot see the violence. It's just not nice, son. You've seen enough of the game where yeah, you can do it anytime. Alright. So, here you are. Once you finish, you then become a little gooey head. And then you can't really do anything. You could open this if you want, look at it, but when you go over here you can see I need 5 BC, 5 cells, stem cells, in order to open that door. There's the only option to leave. Hour and 1 minutes. Hi. I don't know if my chat got mixed up in the process of everything, but that sometimes happens. So if you've been writing me, sorry I missed it. Chat was possibly not working. Alright, so once you beat the game, you can now have the ability to leave your body. You got a little head that crawls around, and you can pick up stuff with it. I get my cells from the last round. Now if you go up here to the left, there is one of the best bows in the game called this quick bow. Ah! I fell. Yeah. Now, if I remember right, if I go over here, I think, yeah, I thought so. There's another one of the best mutations in the game. Ah. Ah. I want to get on the very edge. There we go. So you go in this little thing. I think I can reach this. Nope. Trying to remember how to get over there. I do not remember. I'll be honest. I think it's not that hard. You know what to do? Go this way? What? I don't think so. Man, I thought there was a way to do this. Whoops. I thought there was a way to do it now. That's like the best mutation in the game. Disengagement. Well, unlike me, if you can remember how to get there and get this bad boy, it is worth the shot. But I'm blanking on how to get it. So, once you've beaten the game once, you can come over here and you can activate one boss cell. And that'll give you more cells, it'll give you more options of higher level items, and also a harder game. So I'm going to set it up on 1BC just to show you how it's done. You of course have your starting set of things. We haven't unlocked any outfits yet, so can't go in there. We have unlocked the daily challenges, but yeah, we're not there yet. So we have our sword, we have our arrows. Actually, I do want to say one thing about the daily challenges. Always do them from the main hub world. Don't do them from the main menu. For whatever reason, they glitch out and don't count. And I recommend you do the daily challenges at least through 10 daily challenges, because you'll get items for completing them every daily challenge. And those items are really, really good items. So I'm going to save here. I'm going to quit out now that we completed our first run. I'm going to copy it over so we have it. And then next time I will start the tactics run and show you guys how to do tactics and go from there. So, alright, that's all for now. Take it easy. Have a good and blessed week. And thanks for checking out my first full playthrough of Dead Cells. On to the second playthrough and the tactics or purple playthrough coming up next. Check at you later. Ciao.